Okay, so today we're working on the Suzuki King Cloud 400. This is a 2018 model. I've already been in here once, and I want to share what I've learned. So I'll show you right now. I was having a squeak noise. You'll see it. Okay, so after that squeak noise, what I did was I came in here, popped off the wheel. The wheel is held on by a 17 millimeter. Yep, 17 millimeter. So we took off the 4 bolts. I popped this guy out by accident because when I put it back on, I'll have to pop it back in before we do that. So what I want to show you is how you service these brakes. So the squeak had something to do with this caliper right here. So if you were just working on this, you wanted to do a general maintenance, change the brake pads, whatever, I would leave this guy on here. I would loosen this. Let me rephrase this. I would loosen this. I would take out these 2 pins right here. I would take out these 2 pins. The 2 pins are an H5. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. They come out pretty easy. All of this should be thread locked when you put it back. I loosened this already, so you will have a little bit harder time. So this is what I would do. Okay, so loosen these pins. You should be able to take them out completely here. If you have any issues, there's a spring behind these pads. So, like I said, I've already diagnosed this, and this noise I was having was from something to do with the pads. So from here, what you do is there's 2 bolts on the back, and I'll show you those right now. Mine are loose already. This guy and this guy. Those are, hopefully you can see those. Those are H6s. So you're going to need to take them out with something along these lines. You can use an Allen wrench, Allen key, whatever you want to call them. Mine are loose, like I said, because I've already been in here once. All this stuff is thread locked if you look at it. So you're going to want to put blue thread lock on these when you're done. All I have is red, and I'm not throwing red on at the moment, so ignore what I'm doing. So when you pull this off, the pad is going to fall out if you took the 2 pins out. If the 2 pins were still in there, the pad would stay up here. I would say you could take them out, you can leave them in just loose. You want to definitely break them free before you take the caliper off. So now, if you didn't take them out, you would take them out now. To change the pads, it's literally just taking them out, put new ones in. Where the fun part comes in, what I do is I put a little bit of caliper grease on my pads. These didn't come from the factory with caliper grease, but we're going to take a little bit. This is the stuff I have, I just use it on the cars. I'm going to put a little bit on here, and I put it on the other back of the other pad already. So what you want to do, the back pad just fits in that hole. This front pad, you just push it on the pin. Like I said, this is loose, but you may not even have to take it loose. These are the slides. If you were servicing this, you'd want to take this piece, unscrew that guy, this whole piece pops off, and you can service the slides. You basically just grease these if they're loose. If they're not loose, what you need to do is you need to replace them, which may require replacing the whole thing. But since mine are brand new, I was just in here because I was having that squeak noise. There's nothing wrong with the slides, everything's brand new in here. There's nothing wrong with the pads. I just figured I'd share this information. So that's basically it. If you're just replacing the pads and this is free to move, you should grease these 2 up. I can show you that real quick. You take this guy off. If you're going to do the slides, you pull up on this and you'll pull this right out. Let me get the pads out of the way. Don't want to lose anything. So let me get this pad out. Okay, so if you were going to be doing this and servicing this completely, you're going to want to pull this out, and this you're going to want to grease. If it's stuck, if you're having any trouble getting this out, you're going to want to replace this. You're going to probably get a new boot and everything. And this guy is another slide. It's a bigger one. This one, same thing. You want to grease the crap out of that. And if it's stuck, you have any issues, you're going to want to replace it. So the thing you need to notice is this is keyed. You can see that right there, so you got to make sure that lines up when you put it back together. Otherwise it won't go in properly. And that's basically that. Once you put them back in, they should squish back into their housing. You take your new pad, drop it in there, and be aware there's a spring back in this side. The spring will push down on the pad. So what you need to do before you put the top pad in, make sure you screw this back on. I'm only hand tightening it now. I'm going to tighten it down. When I put this back on, you go like that. Now squish up on the pads to compress that spring a little bit. Put the pins in. Right now, you just want to get them started. So just get them started, and take your whole thing, and you're going to line it back up with these two as you put it on, and line the pads up with the rotor. That'll be the most fun part, probably. Okay, so once you get the pads lined up, then you can worry about everything else. All you're going to do is line the bolt up. Like I said, that thread locker on these. Hopefully you can see that guy there. And this one right up here. Like I said, don't put red thread locker on this stuff. You'll never get it apart again. So I'm using no thread locker at the moment. I will come back when I buy some and put thread locker on these. Tighten these down pretty good. These don't have a whole lot of thread on them, so don't go crazy. I'm sure they have a torque spec. You'll have to look that up. Follow the manufacturer's identified torque spec. That's what I should say. Okay, so pretty good. And now we need to go back to the other side. We're going to tighten down. First, I'm going to tighten this down just because I'm here. Tighten that guy down. Don't crush your finger like I did. Don't crush it against this. These probably should have been tightened down already, but they're just pins that the pads slide on. Just tighten it down. These also had thread locker on them. I am not going crazy tight on this stuff. Like I said, look up your torque specs. I am not going to. And then yeah, so to do this whole job, you need 17 millimeter, an H5 and an H6. That's it. Make sure everything is okay now. I don't hear any more squeak. I do hear the pads sliding. They're working as they should. There's a squeak a little bit again. I don't know. I think they really need to break in a little bit. I think that's more of my issue. If you look here, there is a little line. So I have a feeling a rock got stuck in here at some point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of sandpaper and just scuff this all up real good. And that should let it break in the way it's supposed to. So that's about it for today. I'm going to put the wheel back on. Make sure not to forget to put in your little hub cover. I'm happy to say, no more squeak. Obviously there's something stuck in the caliper, because I think that's what was making it squeak. So taking it apart, putting it back together, just cleaning everything up, greasing up the caliper, and we're good to go. Alright, see you in the next one.